Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for the week of November 28th through December 4th, 2022. So before I begin, I'd just like to welcome you back to this weekly series, and to welcome anyone who might also be new to our Angelic Wisdom community. So this recording is going to be coming out earlier in the week because of the Thanksgiving holidays here in America. And so you'll be seeing it published earlier. Of course, you can watch it whenever you choose. I know many of you look forward to Saturday morning, so you might save it up until that point. And so you can do that. You can pause the video and wait. But if you're sticking around with me now, in any time and place, this will be available to you. So my voice is still dealing with the same issue, and hopefully I'm clear. I probably will not be able to do the videos that I normally do because it's just going to be too much on my voice to do the other 13 videos. But I will do my best. I will try to at least get a December monthly reading out. But for now, this is the most I could promise to do because it's not very comfortable. But this work really is important to me and my sanity, and I'm sure for many of you as well. So I want to be able to at least do the weekly updates. So just a few reminders. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe, to like, dislike, leave comments, as that helps my channel, and also makes you aware of any content that might be coming out. I have a desire to record a meditation video with Archangel Raphael for this week's reading, because there's been some meditations that I've been doing that have been helpful to me in my daily practice. And so I want to share that with you. So you can look for that potentially this week. And also, if you're looking to schedule an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services, and you can select the first time promotional angel offer reading, as it was usually I've been offering it this year for my 10th anniversary year on YouTube. So it's available to everyone to use this year, even if you're not a first time. Also, if you just like to contribute to my channel, you can use my PayPal Me link that you'll find in the description area below. So all these links are there and my various accounts. All right, so let's take a deep breath together. And just really breathe and concentrate on your heart space as you take another deep breath, and just also really be aware of just the energy beneath your feet and grounding into the earth's core. And they were showing me a crown. And so, crown or tiara. So what I'd like for you to do as you take another deep breath is to ask your angels. And if you don't see anything, then use this crown. So the crown would represent authority. It might also represent your crown chakra. It might represent sort of personal autonomy. Whatever it might mean to you in your life right now, whether you need, and this crown actually looked like the one that like Queen Elizabeth wore for, or tiara she wore for her wedding. So that the diamond shaped, it was diamonds, and it's just kind of got this a diamond shape to it as well. And so think about that in terms of the clarity of the crown chakra, that the diamonds might be working, that energy, and this focus. So I saw, and I've seen it again, the word confusion. So there definitely is something where our minds need some kind of diamond energy. And and so I'm going to invite you, unless you receive something else, to see that crown as the symbol that is being given to you to represent anchoring your energy into the Earth's core, magnetic core. So as you just breathe and relax and focus on your energy, just going grounding into the magnetic core of the Earth, see that crown as going down and representing you and your energy right now. Just see it go into the Earth. Into the magnetic core of the Earth. And the word proposal flashed in front of me. So perhaps there is something you need clarity about, or something that you wish to propose to the world in some way, to the universe. I mean, a desire is something that you have, or something that a project or something that you want to manifest. So this word I saw when I was meditating in preparation for this reading. And so this is probably a really good time for some kind of profound manifestation. So you really want to just anchor. It's almost a sense of anchoring with this proposal or this project or this desire that you have. Or if it's just for you, clarity for some of you. But really anchoring your spiritual mind and into the Earth's core. But it feels like you're bringing something into the physical realm. It's almost like we're planting a seed in a way. So just give you a few moments to just really take a deep breath. Think about what that is. And just anchor that into the Earth's core. And then they showed me the symbol of breast, which is my symbol for nurturing or self-care. And so in this context of the seed that now you've planted, that proposal, that idea, whatever it is, what is the one thing that comes to your mind in terms of nurturing it in the physical plane, how you can nurture it so that it can grow? What is one thing that comes to your heart that you would need to do in order to nurture that? Now, for some reason, they're showing me the word compassion. And so for some of us, we need to be compassionate with ourselves. Maybe we're too hard on ourselves. Maybe we are, we have a lot of insecurities, and those insecurities cause us to be very critical of ourselves, the things that we say to ourselves. And so there may be something as simple as compassion can be very useful in helping that seed idea to grow in the physical realm. And so if it's something like this, but you might get something different, but if it's compassion, think about what is it that gets in your way? Some kind of pattern that your ego or insecurity that keeps getting in your way. And then think of a way of compassion to nurture a sort of an alternative approach that will help you to not sabotage your ideas or your dreams. And really commit yourself. And this is about respect. And, practicing compassion is practicing respect for you and for whatever you're trying to accomplish. But there's got to be some kind of respect for you. And there's got to be an acknowledgement of the way that we might, the way that we talk to ourselves, the way that we approach things. Okay, sometimes maybe it doesn't come across as talk in your mind, but it might come across as in how you do something, the way you approach it. So we were talking about in last week's reading about being, simple priorities and not allowing your ego to pad your priorities, which is to say, to let your ego create all of these other things that need to be done. Like putting more responsibility in that situation than is necessary. Like we're just hard pressed to believe that things can be simple and be efficient and productive and successful. We oversell it. We inflate our duties, what might occur on this path, to trying to fulfill this thing. And so therefore, a simple priority, that might be the approach that you need to nurture. Now, I'm not saying if you're the kind of person who thrives and really, on certain things, maybe you thrive on, a lot of things going on in your life, and so that might be your thing. But for a lot of us, it's not our thing. And so you need to be aware of what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And to simplify your priorities so that you can feel successful more easily in this whole desire or dream or goal that you have. So they're writing the word incomplete, and the word complete and then incomplete. So I feel like for some of you, you have this worry that you never get anything accomplished. So why start anything? Because you never get anything done. So you think about what would allow you to actually complete a goal. And if it was simple in each step or each part of the process was just a clear and simple goal. Maybe for some people, it's not about focus on the end, but focusing on the steps step by step, and just treating each one of those steps as a goal, a simple goal, and one that that you can achieve, especially at the start. It might seem like a slow start, but as you gain confidence in this new pattern, then you'll be able to pick up momentum, and there'll be more faith in your and credibility in your belief that you can complete things. So you go from being having this belief of, of not being able to complete anything to having some kind of assurance of being able to do so. And all of this is about, they wrote the word save, about saving your energy, conserving energy. So much of our energy just gets dispersed on fears. I mean, you think about all the things that we fear, all the things that we feel insecure, all of those things just drag a lot of energy out of you. I just got something that I had already prepared that this would be due at this time, and then without any prior notice, it was moved up to 2 weeks from now. And so and there's some other things that are involved, and a lot of insecurities come up for me around things like that. So and my energy, I just felt so low. I felt so afraid, and that's the energy wasted. It drains you. So as soon as you focus on what you need to do, what's that next step, we keep focusing on that thing, that deadline. But what are the steps, all the steps before that, and in the immediate step? Start there, focus there, and then wait and let the answers or the opportunities or the phone calls or the support come in. Like for me, it was to reach out to one particular person, and then a professional who could help me, and then that's when you start to feel your energy coming together again. So just be compassionate with yourself, okay? All right, so let's take a look at the card, the Archangel we're working with for this week. Okay, and it's Archangel Raphael. And it says, see with enlightened eyes, open to abundance. So Archangel Raphael is the angel of healing, but he's also associated with the planet Jupiter. And Jupiter is a planet of abundance and healing. And he also works with our third eye. So here is that aspect of, we keep focusing when a problem arises or something, the pattern with our physical eyes is to see things, to have this knee-jerk reaction, to how we see things and how we deal with them. And a lot of us get stuck in this pattern of fear and insecurity. And tapping into our third eye, that higher vision, your I am presence, your higher self's vision, perspective for you, allows you to shift some of that energy. You're not going to completely get rid of it. It's always going to be there. But with time, with practice, with approach, with compassion, you begin to shift into another reality, or you start the journey. It's like you're on this highway, and then you find this off ramp, and you get off of that, and that takes you onto a road. But the roads lead to roads, right? So it's a journey. It's about the journey and the process and following through that process on that road and stand on that road. Sometimes we want to get back on the road we always know, and then repeat and cycle the patterns, recycle the feelings, the insecurities all over again. And it's not that on another road you're never going to have any, but they will be different, because that new experience or new approach is going to alter the way you felt on that other road that you've been on for so long. And so it's about learning here how to take different roads, different approaches through compassion. And it's this compassionate way that really taps and knocks on the door of our hearts and then opens our third eye to reveal the wonderful new manifestations and opportunities that are available to you, to start helping you to really perceive things differently and develop a new sense of being in terms of how you approach this. I'm not promising you're going to feel completely different, but you will feel different about it. And that will grow. It will become stronger. Your securities and your insecurities will be on those journeys, on those different roads that you'll be led to take. Your insecurities will sort of take a back seat. All right, so let's take a look at the first card for the beginning of the week. And we have the Ten of Swords, and this is the energy of what we're really trying to describe here. It's the mind. It's pointing out it's the mind. It's all in our mind, and that's what that crown was all about. We are not stuck, but we're at this point. All the tens indicate the energy of renewal. So we're not stuck. We're at a time of where we can renew ourselves, that we can bring in new perspective, bring in new ideas, bring in new approaches, change those patterns, change habits. And it's not everything. Just one thing makes a huge difference. One thing that you are ready, and I'm saying the word respect, you're ready to have more respect for yourself about. Something, discerning the word focus, that you can focus on and have respect. And I can hear the words in my mind. It's almost a sense of, with this focus, it helps you to develop a whole new level of respect for yourself. So you have the choice. And what's hard about the choice is that we have to give up the built up baggage, the built up backstabbing, that inner critic. That's the backstabber for us. It's our inner critic. It's the way we criticize ourselves, the way we expect way too much of ourselves, the way we give ourselves no rewards for the little bit that we do, for the things that we have done, so much so that we don't even recognize them. If you were to sit down right now and write down the good things you've done in your life, and I'm going to say not over your whole entire life, but within the last 10 days, you wouldn't be able to see it, because that's how we measure our goodness and our success. It's like we don't even look for it within a span of days, weeks, or maybe even months. It may not even be years that we might think, if you were to go back through your life now and look over a span of years, you might be able to think of some good things or great accomplishments over, say 2 years or 3 years or 5 year span, because we don't expect good to happen to us, and we don't even really focus on the good that can come out of us. Although we're doing it, we just don't give it we don't shine a light on it often enough. And so this is one of the reasons that we get stuck in that pattern, because we're not even expecting change or opportunity to happen. Like miracles, the word itself implies that it's something that is out of an ordinary experience. And that is why so many of us find miracles difficult to believe in, because we're not observing all the miracles that are happening within us and around us all day long. Just because it's not on our agenda for the day doesn't mean it's not a miracle if it's happening. And it is happening, because unfortunately what we don't see is that every breath of every moment of every day, you are expanding. You are becoming enlightened about yourself, your environment, and the things that you're engaged in, even if the challenges are painful. But you're still expanding, evolving. And that is, each and every one of those moments is a miracle of you that's just not seen because of our physical eyes. If we could really see continuously with our spiritual eye, we would see this, we would hear the sonics of our frequency. We would see the color dynamics that are exploding from us, the light show that is going on as we are breathing and engaging with the physical world. It is a joyous and magnificent wonder, but we are not aware. And therefore, our belief in miracles are not up to the what it deserves. We don't have enough faith to be able to really trust it. So you're here at this phase where opportunities for you to break through cycles in your life, but old patterns and habits, but we just keep giving into the phantom recording. We just keep expecting things to always be the same. We expect everybody that we know to always be the same. We don't expect them to grow. We don't even look for it, even though they've grown just as you have right in front of you, but we don't see it. Now here we have the Queen of Wands, and this has come up again. And she is really a multitasker. That's why I think of her as somebody who can do it all. And across all kind of, how do I say that? Across the board, right? She breaks all the rules for what we expect from a woman of the gender of this queen, but in a non-gender way, just for anybody. And so this means that we have this potential. With this energy here, it's strongly suggesting that you have the potential. You have all the tools you need within inside of you to break whatever pattern that keeps sabotaging you. You have a conversation within yourself. They just wrote the word complicated. That's very complicated. That helps you to concede to this, but it doesn't make it true. And there's something about how do we see our talents, and we have them, but some of us are so critical of our talents that we can't. We undermine them. And there was this something I went to yesterday, a concert, and that song, this minister brought up that song, Sing a Song. And there's a phrase in there that he quoted, and I never realized that phrase was in there. What was it? It was something about that, that even though let me see if I can, hold on 1 minute. Okay, it just came to me. I think it said, don't worry if it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song. And so that's it. We think that whatever it is that we do, that it has to be good, to be perfect. And if it's not, then we don't sing, meaning we don't express our talent. And that is something that I just saw the word replace, that we have to replace this belief. We have to get rid of that. We have to know that a talent is just not something that's perfect. And it's not perfect. A talent is not perfect. And I know that sounds insane, but it's not. I have been moved by performances where the voices were not perfect and sometimes not beautiful, but the person had a gift of expression. And that's really what singing is about. The same thing with art or anything, or writing. It's all a gift of expression. Architecture, whatever. So I don't know if I'm accurate in saying this, but this is what I feel in the moment, that all of our talents, the gift behind our talent, the real gift of our talents, whatever you've chosen, is expression. It's not the thing that you're doing, dance or architecture, design. It's the getting it out, expressing how you express it, basically, how you express it. So there might be a flaw in a design, but how you express, what you did, the way that design is expressed, the expression is what's perfect and most important. So don't waste your energy trying to be perfect. Focus on expressing yourself in whatever medium that your talent serves you and serves others. Don't worry about, just really consider it service. Now here's the 6 of coins, and so there's this energy of giving, exchange. And as I was talking about that, and your talents are a gift. And if we're all giving without this criticism, just think how liberating each and every one of us will be as a result of this egoless expression of talent. Just think about how much freedom, joy, and abundance everyone will feel in the world, how much satisfaction and accomplishment everyone will experience in the world. Because if we're and I'm not talking about making mistakes on purpose. We're talking about looking for things, perfection. In this moment, they're telling me, we're talking about looking for things to pick on that only you see that way. And even if a note is out of tune, we hear them all the time. Everybody does it. But you only pay attention to it because the person who's performing is judging themselves, criticizing themselves. And by doing so, their expression is about their insecurities rather than their talents. And this is somehow a very important aspect of what this card is talking about in terms of exchange, sharing our gifts with one another. This exchange of our talents is what allows us all to have our needs truly fulfilled, our soul's needs fulfilled. And in doing so, we feel as though our service, like we're a great benefactor to life. But the thing is that everybody is a benefactor in this story. Because what is being passed on will be passed on, and then passed on, and passed on. This is an act of this act of sharing is a miracle. And it's an easy miracle to fulfill. We have to give of our talents without the criticism, and we have to allow ourselves to receive without our criticism and our insecurities about receiving from people. These are all the things that Archangel Raphael is trying to help us understand about abundance and how it's so intertwined with healing, harmony, balance. Okay, so the card I pulled from the bottom of the deck is the Star. This card has that symbolism of balancing too, right? With the, pouring on land and nurturing water and land. These two energies here, these two elements, earth and emotions. The physical and emotion. And this card is one of hope, inspiration, it's possibilities, because the stars are vast, right? And so it reminds us of the endlessness of who we are. And then the person is usually without clothing. And the only way for us to really express ourselves, is to truly let nothing get in the way of being ourselves, to respect our nature. And our human nature has flaws within it. But those flaws, that even for me to say that word, are your interpretation of you. Someone else may not see you that way. Definitely everyone is not going to agree on who you are and how you express your gifts and your abilities. I mean, this card, now the star, it makes you think of someone becoming a star, right? Like someone becoming, joining the ranks of those many notable and recognized ones. So what is this giving us a sense of? Right now, the sky is the limit. That whatever proposal, project, or dream, or desire you have, that there's a lot of support, there's a lot of opportunity, there's a lot of promise right now for you, for the seeds you plant. So get clear about the seed you're planting and how you can nurture yourself in a different way to have different results than what you've expected. You don't have to expect your insecurities to be the outcome. Okay, so I send you lots of love and angelic prayers and wisdom to touch your heart and to guide you, to uplift you and inspire you to reach your pure potential. And each and one of us, every one of us, has that opportunity right now to fulfill that, but we have to do it together. So give this gift, the gift of love, compassion. Help others see their potential. Uplift them, inspire them, support them. Share that compassionate perspective with them. As you do this for others, you do it for yourself. The work you do for you, you're doing for others. And so when you do it for others, you're doing it for yourself. You create a community of the same sort of empowerment. And right now, what we need in the world worldwide for each other, in our divisions, is that we need to change the conversation and uplift each other, support each other, help us to see the good in each other despite our opposing views. We have to stop putting each other down or blaming the other side or humiliating. Humiliation is not only a terrible thing to do, but it is a huge impediment to the peace that each of us is trying to find for ourselves and for our families and our communities. So we have to let each other be without trying to impose on each other, but seek to understand one another better. Listen. That's a gift, to be able to listen. Give somebody the opportunity just to be heard. It might be everything you might want to just scream out at them, no, you're wrong. But that will humiliate them. And sometimes you have to let people just listen to them, give them an opportunity to be heard. And I tell you what, when you do this, you actually literally give them the opportunity to be heard. Because you are a soundboard, and their ideas that are in their heads, their beliefs, they've never heard them. They're yelling all the time with a bunch of people who talk like them. And so they're not hearing themselves, because it's weird, right? Because I just said you listening to them, they will hear themselves. You're a sounding board. But when people are like them, they don't hear, because they're all saying the same thing. They don't have to think. They don't have to feel uncomfortable. And then there's the other component, when two groups of people are opposing, are yelling at each other. You can't hear either. You can only hear when the person that's listening isn't necessarily known to be on your side. And if you just listen, and I'll just bring this up to like parent meetings, one of my mentors, I'll say her name because I just love her name. Sue French was my mentor, and she always told me to listen, let the parents talk and let them, and not interrupt. And I always found that although they might have felt like we were on opposing sides, but if I just listened, which is not easy, but if I just listened, I would find out things that would take the whole conversation a different direction. But if I opened my mouth and kept going back and forth, then we would just find the whole situation would just escalate. We'd be in there talking about more problems than what we came there for. And so nobody feels like they won. Everybody feels, like they've been bested. And that is an ego issue. But to just listen, but the point I was going to get to, and I've noticed this in other conversations, if you just listen, that person will hear themselves, because I've heard myself, and then all of a sudden it's just, you realize this doesn't make sense. But see, it's hard, you think it's hard for you to listen because you don't believe and you want to just correct everything you want to, but when you just listen, and this goes both ways, you will be changed. Even if you don't agree with them, still, there's something you're going to get out of this. And I'm telling you, what I'm telling you is what I got out of it that changed me and had nothing to do with the opposing person's view. It just changed me in myself. It enlightened me about something, about relationships, the dynamics of interacting with people. And that's what you are going to get out of it. We all will get out of it. All right, so we have greater potential here. So have a beautiful week, and God bless you.